a lot of good things, but there is a team that I am interested.
Oh my God, the Super Bowl ticket.
Super Bowl ticket. I know you were saying that the Bengals have to beat out the Ravens to finish first in the division. I think there's actually a better team than both of them.
I can't believe you right now. I can't believe we're having this conversation.
Let's talk about the Cleveland Browns.
Just tell me what you like about them. I just want to know. I don't even care what you don't like. I just want to hear what you like. I need to hear this conversation.
Yep. I think that this is the year the defense just really puts it all together. I think Myles Garrett is arguably one of the best players in the league.
You're right. You're not wrong.
I think that if we can see huge improvements from their linebackers who were okay at times, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah was playing way better over the second half of the season, as well as he was coming into his role. Greg Newsome is one of my favorite corners in the league as well. Grant Delpit had some fantastic plays last season in really like high impact moments, and Denzel Ward is still very good when he's healthy. I love the addition of Jeudy to go alongside Amari Cooper.
Me too, though. I love that.
David Njoku. And if Deshaun Watson can get back to Houston, Deshaun Watson.
That's a big if, man.
That's it. But that's what it rides on. Then I think that there's a chance that this team goes all the way. They've got added Jameis Winston behind him. Tyler Huntley's there. So we'll see how they go. They'll probably remain on the practice squad. Dorian Thompson
probably
as well. Flashed at times. So they added Jamari Thrash as well from Louisville at receiver. Elijah Moore was a high draft pick that they took. He was a first round pick, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep. No, he was right. That's right.
I think Cedric Tillman takes a huge step forward as well. Really loved his.
Still got David Bell there.
They've still got David Bell. So there's just so much to love about this team. Defensive line, Zadarius Smith and Myles Garrett. Shelby Harris, Quentin Jefferson. They drafted like there's studs all over this team. So that's my pitch.
It's fair. The quarterback position is the thing that's really shaky.
Return.
Nick, he will return eventually. And Jerome Ford has been playing well.
Yep. Jerome Ford was a good sort of fill-in. He can't really keep it up all season though.
Great receiver though.
So going to be good for special teams. Going to be good as a third down back as well.
Yep. Hey, then that's it. I think that's the 1-2, right? Jerome Ford and Nyheim Hines.
Yes, after Nick Chubb. And then they've also added Deontay Foreman.
They brought in Foreman. So now that backfield gets way too confusing. Any team that Foreman goes to, I swear to God, the guy's going to be 42 years old. We're still going to be like, Deontay Foreman, fucking God damn it. He comes in with a game that he gets 190 rush yards. And you're like, the fuck? I didn't even know this guy was on the team. You know?
From a DVOA perspective, last season, Browns finished 8th, best team in the league. They were 28th offensively. That can't be right. No, it is. Okay. And then they were second defensively. So
that's what I mean. It's a very polarizing, and that's the thing that concerns me obviously the most with the Browns is the defense will keep them in games. It's in order to win these games where you're playing the Bengals going full tilt, when you're playing the Ravens going full tilt, when you're playing really like they're going to have to play the Cowboys, I think, at the same time this year as well. I think if the whole division's going through that.
Yep.
Yeah, I think. So
that's the Tom Brady debut.
Oh, yeah.
On CBS.
So
that'll be a great game.
It's going to be a great game, right? But hell, that's a tough game to win if you're the Browns. That's a really tough game to win.
It's in Cleveland. It's still going to be summer. So I think that there's going to be good conditions. Cowboys are a bit of a wild card to see how they go defensively. They haven't made too many changes, but neither of the Browns. Deshaun Watson's lines last season, 220 was sort of where it was sitting around, and he went. The only week he didn't go over that was week 1. So I think they're going to I think he'll be throwing the ball a ton. His lines were around 31.5, and he was going over those. And obviously we saw Joe Flacco come in. So we actually didn't see much Deshaun Watson last year. And I think that now that it's the year after the year, I think he's going to be a lot better.
I mean, I hope so for Browns fans because they fucking deserve it. They deserve it.
Yeah, I think they're going to be now. Their win totals 8.5.
Yeah, I was just about to say they feel like an 8-9 team win. Like I haven't even looked, and that's what they feel like to me.
They feel like a 12-win team to me.
You're friggin' nuts, man.
Okay,
You're nuts.
Very winnable games. Washington, we've talked about. So they play the NFC East.
Mm-hmm.
So they play the Giants as well. They've got Vegas. They've got Jacksonville. Those are some very winnable games. Denver, they'll match up well against, I think. They do have to play Miami and Kansas City.
Yeah, they're going to get scorched.
And then their conference alternative is the Saints. So, I mean, there's so many winnable games here. They play the Chargers. They're going to smash them.
Maybe. That's going to be such a low-scoring game. That's going to be so boring to watch.
Yeah, I love the tandem of Amari Cooper, Jerry Jeudy, David Njoku. I mean, they sent Denver like a 5th-round pick or a 6th-round pick for Jerry Jeudy. That's
for Jeudy. Oh my, like that they stole him.
Yeah, and I still think he's a great player. He was amazing in college. That's the year that they all came in. It was Jerry Jeudy, CeeDee Lamb, Justin Jefferson, Henry Ruggs.
Yeah.
Jeudy was my number 1 receiver from that class.
Now, I agree. I had him rated super high.
Yeah, he was insane.
And Alabama. For whatever reason, couldn't get it going.
Actually, I shouldn't say that. No, CeeDee Lamb was my receiver 1, but then I mean Jerry Jeudy was right there with him.
Was Waddle in that class?
No, he was in the Chase.
Right.
Class.
Right.
Who was that? That was Chase, Waddle. Who's the other big name? There was Elijah Moore and shoot, I'm forgetting. Oh, it'll come to me.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think there's studs everywhere. I think so. David Njoku has some interesting stats as well. So his line was sitting. He had 5.5 receptions last season. He went over that every single week. In the back half of the season, so he was getting at least 6. So obviously Joe loved throwing to the tight end. Through the season, it was 3.5. There was only one time he didn't go over that. Like he was just
he ran like a horse too. Like when he caught that ball, the yards after contact was like he ran hard. It was great to watch him like excel finally, right? Like finally to see him break through. And Deshaun Watson has been known to elevate the tight ends around him, right? Like when he was in Houston, he had nobody. He had Akins.
He had Jordan Akins, who was good for fantasy from memory.
Yeah, it was half decent. He didn't have a lot of talent, like pass catching talent, but he made the tight ends look a lot better than they were.
He had DeAndre Hopkins and Will Fuller.
No, for tight end.
I mean, tight end. Sorry,
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, well, I mean, Will Fuller, he was just nuking balls down the field to him,
man.
Just nuking them. Yeah, 60-yard arc bombs.
They're like,
3 goddamn touchdowns.
That game sits in my memory. Yeah, I want to do
it was 3 that game, right? Yeah, I think that was nuts.
Yeah, I want to do a study at some point this season while we're talking about it. Like, how often did every pass catcher on the team go over their receiving lines all at the same time? Because often when I'm tracking these things, you'll notice it's like, yeah, Cooper had a good game, but that came at the cost of Elijah Moore. He had an under game, or David Njoku. Like, only so there's 3.
Be good to know for same game parlays, right? It would be really good to know for same game parlays.
3 games the entire season where all of Amari Cooper, Elijah Moore, and David Njoku went over their receiving lines. Like, I just think this is definitely like a common trend. It's the same with the Bengals. Like, usually only 1 receiver or 2 go over their lines in a given week. It's like not all 3 of them ever do. So yeah, I want to take a look at that.
Yeah, that'd be a great stat to pull. That'd be a very great stat to pull.
Any final thoughts on the Browns? Anything you want to say about the defense or?
No. I struggle to find anything worth taking here. For a futures pick, right? Like for a season long pick.
Yeah, I think
the only thing that I can say is that I would take the over 8.5 wins.
Oh, yeah, over 8.5. I mean, I want the Super Bowl long shot. I wonder what's Deshaun Watson's passing line.
That's a good question.
Because I suspect it might actually be lower than people think, and I think he's going to play a lot better than people think.
They have him ranked as the QB 19.
Wow.
And they
Wow.
have him at 3,378 yards.
Give me the over.
Bryce Young has a higher total than he does.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
That's crazy. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of my favorite bets. Amari Cooper, Jerry Jeudy, Elijah Moore, David Njoku, Cedric Tillman.
Will he end up in jail or not?
That's the thing. That's really the Achilles heel of this, isn't
it?
it?
Yeah, right? Oh, damn.
Yep.
Okay. And one more
That's
case.
going to ruin
God damn it.
so many tickets I've got on the Browns. I'm so bullish on them.
Yeah.
Just also wanted to mention they added one Thornhill from Kansas City, so I think that's a nice addition. He was good. He was good in KC.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see Jerome Ford. Where they have him? I
don't rate him. I know he's been good in a lot of good games, but sustaining that over a long period of time is not.
I just think if the Browns are winning at the start of the season, why are they going to rush back?
Well, I'll tell you what. So Nick Chubb went down week 2 or 3. Mm-hmm. And from that moment on, Jerome Ford went over his rushing line 5 times last season. 5.
So Deontay Foreman, 5. Yeah. So that's not a lot. That's not a lot at all.
5 of Deontay 11 games.
Deontay Foreman's rush yardage is 302.
Bro, he might not even make the team.
I'm telling you, though, if he does, Deontay Foreman's good for a 200-yard game. He's done it on every single team he's ever played on. One game a year. He just runs for 200 and 4 touchdowns. And then, and then they run him and he gets 30. Yeah, that's exactly.
Half his season totals in one game, but then he won't come again.
I think he'd hit the 300, though.
Okay. Week 1, they played Dallas. That'll be the Tom Brady debut. Week 2, they play Jacksonville. Then they play the Giants. Then they play Vegas. Then they play Washington. Dude, if they beat Dallas, this team's going to be 6-0. They play Philly.
Yeah, no, they do have a favorable
schedule. Their line is 8.5. They only need to win another 3 games for the rest of the season. They've got the Chargers in there. They've got Denver in there. They've got Miami. We don't know what they're going to be like defensively. Fucking man, over 8.5, over 3,300, whatever Deshaun Watson's line is.
Man, Jerome Ford, his rushing yard total is 488.
It's not a lot because you got to remember, like Nick Chubb, that was a really, really bad injury. Like I think he'll take
it was like they thought it was like career ending.
Yeah, it looked career ending. Jesus,
that's what I'm saying. I think
was
if they start
to the, Jordan Travis injury, wasn't it?
I don't know.
At FSU, man, I saw that injury live.
It was gruesome.
Yeah.
But if they win the first 4 games, Nick Chubb's not coming back until
after the bye.
They start prepping him, until after the bye week,
which is week 10.
So that would mean that Jerome Ford, if you see the season going the way that it's going to go, that's pretty much 10 weeks of Jerome Ford. So if you that's 40 yards a game.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And his line will be about 40 yards a game as well. That's why they got it there.
He'll hit that.
I don't know. He didn't always last year. Last year he only hit that 5 times.
But then that would be assuming that when Nick Chubb comes back, that Jerome Ford doesn't run at all.
Yeah. I'm not drafting Nick Chubb anywhere in fantasy this year.
No, hell no.
Next year, sure, but I need to see it first. Plus, players always are slow to come back from these really bad injuries. Like Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard, I think, will be a lot better this year in Tennessee.
No, I don't think so.
Bad last year, though. Because he was
Tajay Spears is going to be the better running back there.
He was still of course, but I think Pollard will still be good. Which when we get to Tennessee.
When we get there.
So
anyway, the Browns.
Okay, just to finish now. So I mean, if they beat Dallas week 1, this team could be 6-0 because they play Philly as well. So wow, they play the NFC East 4 of the first 6 games, and then they're done with that division. Mm-hmm. So I'm doing it, man. Super Bowl.
You're nuts.
It's going to be my long shot ticket. I think that they'll be there because I think that it will be like if Dallas could get it together. So it's week 1, and then we see them again in the Super Bowl. Browns, Cowboys.
Yeah, you may as well parlay for them to win the division, for them to win over 8.5 games, and for them to win the Super Bowl all in one ticket, and just do a booster.
Yeah, see, I think winning
and put Deshaun on that at the same time, and you may as well just run it into a 4-banger and just
exactly. I think actually the winning the division will be the hardest of all of those things. I mean, they do need to win the division to really stand a shot at the Super Bowl, but the division is so good. It's so competitive.
It is very good. Yeah, it is very good. Yeah, okay. So you're taking the over 8.5. You're taking Deshaun Watson over 3,360 something yards.
Whatever it was. Yep. What do you like?
You're taking them to win the Super Bowl.
By long shot. Long shot.
Yeah. I'm gonna go over 8.5 wins. As much as I don't want to say it's gonna happen, it's probably gonna happen. Yeah. And I will take Jerome Ford over 440 yards rushing.
I can see it. I'd also take Cooper over his receiving as well. I reckon he'll be a top 10 fantasy receiver.
Can be.
Touchdowns will be a plenty.